Hello Commanders, Commander Plater here, back with another Elite Dangerous video, and today I'm talking about the recent engineering exploit controversy which seems to not have had the level of attention it should have. So, the exploit I'm referring to allowed players to use grade 1 materials to roll grade 5 engineering upgrades. Something I want to get out of the way very early on in this video is that I will not be demonstrating the exploit in this video, and nor do I recommend or condone you go and look up how to do it. You'll find out the reasoning for that a little bit later on. Being someone who has publicised money-making exploits by cheating game mechanics previously, it may seem odd that I do not agree with this one, but let me explain why. I have not considered money in Elite Dangerous to be the success case it once was since the engineers were introduced. As I've said in previous videos, having a big ship was not the deciding factor in a fight anymore, and the best engineering role is. So this exploit will have a large effect on the outcome of fights, but also the time needed to be invested for engineering. Anyone who has ever needed modified embedded firmware knows the time it takes to try and get a good roll. Why? Because of the drop rate. If MEF was as common as nickel, you would take considerably less time to collect the materials for the same number of rolls, and when RNG is involved, the more rolls you get, the better. So now you know where my line is. Engineering exploits. I know at the moment it all seems rather obvious, and time has long been a winning factor for Elite Dangerous due to its progression, or lack of progression. So reducing some of the RNG requirement will give you an advantage over others. Obviously for PvE this will have minimal effect, but for PvP it's a different story. Friend of the channel Mini is a great example of engineering grind done right. And for all the right reasons, and I do recommend you check out his channel to see what is achievable using legitimate methods for material gathering and rolls. Link in the description. What made this exploit truly different is Fdev's response. Hi everyone, just want to let you know we've identified accounts that have engaged in repeated and deliberate use of a game exploit which allow people to gain a significant and unfair advantage with engineering. We'll be reviewing and taking action where we feel it is appropriate. The development team are working on a fix for this exploit and we'll give you an update as soon as we have it. We'd like to remind people of the Code of Conduct, particularly the section outlined here. We do not tolerate the use of any exploits which have possible bugs in the game to generate player advantage. Any player caught cheating or taking advantage of any exploits or bugs will be penalised and could face a game ban. Now, the threat of a ban of this type of exploit is the first time Fdev have done this and truly broken silence regarding an exploit. It's well stated in the terms of Elite Dangerous that promoting exploits or cheats such as hacks or combat logging are potentially bannable. The terms are clear and the line appears to be drawn in a similar place to my own. Fdev have identified the players who have conducted this activity, and as with most things in gaming, it remains under the radar until it gets shared one too many times on YouTube or Reddit. But this exploit really appears to have gotten players' attentions, and there appears to be a good number of people talking about this topic on Reddit, the forums, and even on Steam. The overall consensus from people is that the line has been crossed by players carrying out this exploit, and is the step too far. Of course, there are others who consider ways to make money quickly through intended game mechanics to be exploits too, and group them all together. Opinions will vary, and I can understand why they would. Stepping aside from whether or not you think being rich in ED is a bad thing or a good thing, there's a lot you can do in a hauler, but some things you can only do in an anaconda. Every ship does have its place. I'm very accepting of the engineer grind, and I wish there was a way to get certain materials without engaging in parts of the game that I would rather avoid. SRV base raids, I'm looking at you. But this exploit is definitely an imbalance. So after a couple of weeks, Fdev took action by sending this message to players they identified as exploiters. Greetings Commander. Following an investigation into the use of an exploit allowing multiple engineering blueprint rolls to be made using materials of a lower grade, we have confirmed that this account completed a number of these illegitimate rolls. As such, action has been taken to remove all engineering modifications matching the blueprint IDs used in these rolls. This affects modules on all currently owned ships and also those modules in storage. The specific method required to perform this exploit means periods of repeated use can only be deliberate. And as such, we will not be reimbursing any modifications which match engineering blueprint IDs used during the rolls in question. This may include modifications of the same blueprint gained via legitimate use, our advice to prevent punitive actions which may remove progress or assets is to avoid using similar exploits in the future, should they be discovered. Regards, your Frontier support team. Well, that's quite a wall of text. But what it does mean is that some players who have used this exploit have lost out on a huge amount of engineered modules. There have also been reports that not all of the ill-gotten gains had been removed. At the same time, it appears that some legitimate engineering has also been removed. You can take that from what they've said in the message. Forum posts and Reddit posts have popped up saying that Fdev have been too heavy-handed in their approach, and the conversation of whether or not it was actually heavy enough has also begun. So, where do you stand? Let me know in the comments. Whilst you're there, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a patron. It's a great way to support the channel and help me to provide you with good quality content. But as usual, once again, thank you for watching. Commander Plater, out.